if there's anything I can do to convince some of our back people to come forward a little, I can't require it, but I'd love to see you make it a little more homey. Thank you. Omar, can I get you to come up? I know we're going to have some more people wandering in, but let's get started. I want to begin by welcoming a visitor. We have with us today Carlton, is it Kuntz? Who's an industry sector specialist at the New Jersey Department of Labor and Workforce Development. Welcome. We appreciate your being here. Please. Carlton's working with Dean Lori Margolin on some exciting partnerships. And as we all know, workforce development and economic development are cornerstones of what we do. And it's all about partnerships. So we really appreciate your being here. So I have the pleasure of beginning with a number of recognitions, and I recognize some of you are already aware of at least some of these, others of you aren't. So today I'd like to just celebrate all of them, and I apologize if some of this is not news. First of all, 2 weeks ago, Iris Pujols, our esteemed colleague and executive director of our North Hudson campus, was recognized as one of 3 honorees at Save Latin America's annual gala at the Chart House restaurant in Weehawken. And I can tell you the event was packed and the theme was educational excellence. Some of you were there. Just a phenomenal evening. And it was my distinct honor to introduce Iris for this well-deserved recognition of his leadership and example that truly inspires so many. So we congratulate him. He's not here today, which is unusual because he's at everything all the time. I don't know how he does it. And I know he's going to be here tonight for a reception we're doing for members of our Latino community. And for the second year in a row, a Hudson County Community College faculty member will receive the prestigious American Association of Community Colleges Dale P. Parnell Faculty Distinction Award. This national recognition, which is named in honor of former AACC President and CEO Dale Parnell, recognizes faculty for teaching excellence and making a difference in the classroom. They recognize something like 20 or 25 faculty nationwide each year. Many of you will remember that Associate Professor of English Katie Sweeting received the award last year. Is Katie here? Katie's not here. And that was an immense point of pride for our entire college community. And recently we learned that Assistant Professor of History Tony Acevedo will be presented the 2020 Dale P. Parnell Faculty Distinction Award. Congratulations, Tony. We'll be going together to the AACC National Convention. It'll be a pleasure joining others in celebrating Tony's teaching excellence. And really, to have 2 faculty members win this prestigious award in successive years is truly a testament to teaching excellence at Hudson County Community College. So it's a point of pride for all of us. Then, as if that weren't enough, we also learned recently that Professor Sweeting has been awarded a Fulbright scholarship that will support her teaching in India beginning this next July. The details are being finalized, after which we will announce this publicly, so don't tell anyone. I actually saw her and said, "Is it okay that I'm saying this?" And she said yes. So we're enormously pleased to congratulate Katie. And some really wonderful news that just keeps coming about our Phi Theta Kappa chapter. Our 5-star chapter of Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society continues to inspire our college community with their leadership and service initiatives and the excellence they promote in our students. Recently, we learned that 4 Hudson County Community College students, all members of PTK and all STEM majors, were selected as semifinalists for the prestigious Jack Kent Cook Undergraduate Transfer Scholarship. They're among 456 semifinalists out of about 1,500 applicants nationwide who are advancing to the next level of consideration for this scholarship. And this is a big one. This is one of the most coveted scholarships in the nation. It provides full funding to pursue a baccalaureate degree for up to 3 years. And then beyond that, you're eligible for a $75,000 scholarship to do graduate coursework. There are only 20 or so recipients of this scholarship annually. Last year, we were all very proud that Sarah Hayun received the scholarship. She's now on a full scholarship at Stevens Institute of Technology and doing exceedingly well. We often have a semifinalist or two. I think this is the first time we've had 4. And so we congratulate HCCC students Abdullah Armar, Mohanad Mohammed, Abderrahim Salih, and Giavo. Are any of them here by any chance? No. How about a round of applause? This is fantastic. And in addition, we celebrate 2 Hudson County Community College Phi Theta Kappa members who are among just 42 students nationwide recently awarded a NASA Aerospace Scholars Internship in Virginia. And they are Brian Rebus and Abderrahim Salih. Yes. And Rahim will also be presenting a workshop at the upcoming Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society Annual Convention in Dallas, Texas. He was approved to present a workshop. I look forward to participating with our student, faculty, and staff attendees at this convention, where our chapter will again be recognized as a 2020 Phi Theta Kappa REACH chapter in recognition of our students' continuing success in college completion. We'll receive 10 Phi Theta Kappa graduation stoles for students to wear at our May 21st commencement ceremony. So we congratulate all members of our inspirational Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, with very special thanks to the incredible chapter advisor, Ted Lai. Congratulations to all of them. And Ted's not here, but I'll let him know. And what's also really cool, and we're having a meeting later today about this, on March 25th, our PTK chapter will celebrate its 25th anniversary here, and we'll be celebrating that in an event open to the entire college community. It's a real milestone accomplishment. Our chapter is truly the single most dynamic organization of students I've encountered in my 40-year career in higher ed. It's just unlike anything I've seen before. Many of you know this very, very well. Probably all of you do. I this year invited the president and CEO of Phi Theta Kappa, Dr. Tinchner Ladner, to attend our commencement ceremony. Unfortunately, she's traveling at that time and can't attend, but she sent me a beautiful letter in which she said, and these are her words, "I adore Hudson County Community College's Phi Theta Kappa chapter." She knows us quite well. So we'll all be looking forward to celebrating that milestone accomplishment. Several of us just returned from Washington, D.C., where the Association of Community College Trustees held the annual National Legislative Summit. And joining me were Hudson County Community College Trustees Bakari Lee and Pamela Gardner, Alumni Representative to the Board of Trustees Abderrahim Salih, SGA President Warren Rigby, alumnus and Hudson County Community College Admissions Representative Hamza Salim, Executive Vice President and Provost Eric Friedman, and Vice President Nicholas Chevrolotti. We heard about many legislative issues of importance to our national community college sector, and we had a wonderful breakfast with Senator Robert Menendez. His comments were phenomenal. In fact, I think we need to get them on our webpage. Jen's here, Jen Crisper. And we also had a meeting with Senator Booker, and also with Congressman Albio Series and Congressman Bill Pascrell. And Nicholas and staff from Senator Menendez's office provided us a wonderful tour of the Capitol. It was the first time some of the students had ever been there. It was just an exceptional experience. We were proud to have the largest contingent of New Jersey National Legislative Summit attendees for the second year in a row. So 16 of the 18 New Jersey community colleges had teams there, but ours was the largest, and we were the only school to have 3 students. There were a few schools that had 1. Not that we're comparing, right? Yeah, but Warren Rigby, Abderrahim Salih, and Hamza Salim will be sharing their perspectives from the NLS during my President's Report at next Tuesday's Board of Trustees meeting. And for those of you who plan to attend that meeting, I would just remind you that it will be held in the Gabert Library 6th floor atrium, not in the usual location in the boardroom. As we speak, Interim Associate Dean of English and ESL Joe Caniglia is traveling to Boston with 6 HCCC students for the annual Harvard University Model United Nations in Boston. Our students will represent Syria at the Model UN. What a great learning experience that's going to be. They were invited in addition, I think really because of their excellence. I mean, we really have a strong Model UN presence, and well, our students do exceptionally well each year. Joe just does such great work as their advisor. So this year, our students were invited to produce a video welcome to the conference that will be shown to all Model UN participants from throughout the United States. And I'll invite them to attend a future Board of Trustees meeting to share their experience as we did last year. Okay, New Jersey Council of County Colleges presidents and college staff are developing new pathways and skills collaboratives in the areas of advanced manufacturing, healthcare, and technology. And we have college leaders who will be participating in these collaboratives that will continue to build partnerships and seek grant funding for these areas of institutional and workforce priority throughout New Jersey. I want to thank Associate Dean of STEM Burl Yearwood, who's here, Dean of Continuing Education and Workforce Development Lori Margolin, and CIO Patricia Clay. Is Tricia here? There she is. I can never find you, but you're always here. I thank those three colleagues for representing us in these collaboratives. And then I'm also pleased to share that our New Jersey Community College presidents are currently developing a joint statement on hatred and intolerance following the December 10th Jersey City shooting and other recent incidents of hatred in New Jersey, New York, and nationwide. Planning is now underway, this is a nice one, for our 2020 commencement ceremony that will be held for the first time at Red Bull Arena in Harrison. And it'll be the first time a commencement ceremony has ever been held there. This year's ceremony will begin at noon, not at, what is it usually, 5 or 6 p.m.? It'll begin at noon on Thursday, May 21st, as I think you're all aware. This exciting new location will allow graduating students to invite an unlimited number of guests to attend and celebrate our graduates. Further, there will be free parking available on a first-come, first-served basis for 800 vehicles. And then we also will hold a wonderful celebratory reception afterward for graduates and their families and friends. At NJPAC, we didn't have the space to do this. Here we do. They have some wonderful venues for reception, so we're going to have a nice reception that really will allow graduates and their families to spend time taking pictures with faculty and staff and really celebrating further. And then the cherry on the Sunday is that our speaker will be James Elliott, who is the International President of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. He is an inspirational speaker. He himself is graduating this year from Delaware Community and Technical College in the state of Delaware. I don't want to give away too much of his life story. I heard him speak last year at AACC. He made some poor choices as an adolescent, wound up in prison, and he talks passionately about the devastation that he felt sitting in a prison cell. He felt like his life was over. He'll be talking about it. And when he finally got out, he found himself at Delaware Community and Technical College and speaks so beautifully about how it wasn't just an opportunity to take classes and earn a degree and position himself for life-changing opportunities. He was embraced and welcomed as family by that community college, and it was that affirmation and personal caring that he found everywhere he went there that turned his life around. He then went on to become one of a few people, including Abderrahim Saleh, who were all USA academic team members, and he's won all kinds of accolades. He's a top student, incredibly inspirational speaker. I think you'll find it incredibly motivating. I know our students will. And in fact, it's kind of neat because our Phi Theta Kappa chapter is now having a competition to determine which of our Phi Theta Kappa students will introduce Mr. Elliott at the commencement, which is kind of cool. And so what the commencement's really, this is all about these changes. They're all about how we can make it possible for more of our graduating students to celebrate what we know as a life-changing moment. So many of our students, as we all know, are first-generation college students. So what have we done? We found a venue. that allows every student to bring an unlimited number of family and guests. There are no limits. There are plenty of seats there. Free parking. We have removed the graduation fee. We have eliminated it. We have eliminated cost to students for regalia. We are going to cover those. And so we're hoping for a huge turnout of our graduates, and I also hope we have a huge turnout of our college community. This year more than ever, I hope if you can possibly be there to celebrate our students, you will do that. I know we have to provide some essential services on campus, but I would support to the fullest extent possible everyone attending. It is during the workday. With your supervisor's permission, please join us, and I know it's going to be exciting. Please pray for good weather, though. There is a roof that covers everybody, but that's the one challenge of this venue. If it's a really nasty storm, it won't be entirely comfortable, but that's not going to happen. Over the last 2 weeks, our President's Advisory Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion held 2 of its 3 scheduled town hall meetings to discuss the findings of a recent campus climate diversity survey that nearly 800 students, faculty, and staff completed in November. Is Lalisa here? Yes, she is. So PACDI co-chairs Lisa Williams and Eurus Pujols led these interactive sessions that included engagement and discussion around areas of priority for our DEI work going forward, including the writing of the college's first ever strategic plan for diversity, equity, and inclusion. I want to thank many of you who have attended one or both of those first 2 meetings, and we encourage others of you, and you can come back again if you want to have a repeat experience, but certainly those of you who have not yet been able to attend one, if at all possible, we hope you'll come to the meeting on Tuesday, February 18th at 3 p.m. in the Culinary Conference Center banquet room. And Lalisa, thanks to you and Eurus for your wonderful leadership. Really appreciate it. We're collaborating in a number of new and expanded ways with our region's Latino community. For example, we've established a community advisory council comprised of Latino clergy, college, and community leaders throughout Hudson County. The council met last week, and they'll meet quarterly going forward. And the purpose is to serve members of the Latino community and promote education through outreach, information, and support. And yes, thank you. So, and we had a really wonderful turnout of clergy downstairs, and just everyone's passionate about this college and this college's mission and what that mission means to members of our community. And so we share the common goal of wanting to reach more members of our largest community in Hudson County, the Latino community, because we know that that education is life-changing for our region. And so we're going to be invited to do things like go to Sunday church services and talk about how you can move forward with your college education. And I just think it's a fantastic new way of trying to collaborate to do work that all of us feel is important. And so in addition to that, we've invited civic leaders and members of the Latino community to a networking reception this evening. And it's going to be held, is it downstairs? I think it's downstairs in the Culinary Conference Center. I think it's in the banquet room. Oh, it is the library? So the email that went out today said culinary. It's the library for sure? Okay. It's either the library or here. But it's going to be at 6 p.m. And it'll be the first in a continuing series of receptions to build friendships, networks, and partnerships dedicated to the educational attainment of increasing numbers of community members. If you're interested, we welcome your attendance. I think we're going to have a good number of community members there as well, and it's going to be pretty informal. Yours is actually going to be the host. I'm sorry?
And it is the library.
It is the library. I had been saying library, and I just changed this. It's the library, 6th floor. On to a more serious matter. Recently, the Hope Center for College Community and Justice at Temple University surveyed students at all 18 New Jersey community colleges regarding issues of food insecurity and homelessness among our students. The Hope Center is led by Professor Sarah Goldrick Robb. Some of you are familiar with her. She's a nationally recognized researcher at Temple whose work has inspired the development of our own food pantries and our new Hudson Helps services. This survey information is just now being released to the public, but again, it was a survey of all 18 community colleges. It was shared with us early to support our application for funding through a new New Jersey Hunger-Free grant program. And I've mentioned this at another meeting, so you may have heard this before, but those of you who haven't, and we're going to be making the full results available. We've just been waiting until they give us permission to do so, and I think that's imminent. But I can tell you this, of the 716 Hudson County Community College students who completed the survey, 68% reported experiencing food insecurity, housing insecurity, and or homelessness in the past year. 68%. And 14% of our students reported experiencing homelessness in the past year. These proportions are even higher for non-white Hudson County Community College students. I think we all knew, well, we do all know, of course, that these are important challenges among our students and our entire community. I don't think even we realized the number of students affected. And while the results are very sobering, they further validate our students' basic needs and the paramount importance of our efforts to help address these needs in order to support our students and promote their success. If you're not sure how you're going to feed your kids or where you're going to sleep, tutoring and study groups aren't getting the job done, right? So I am proud of what we are doing together. This whole community is coming together around these issues, and I'm pleased to share that we've submitted an application for a $100,000 grant through the Hunger-Free Campus Act grant program to support our growing Hudson Helps initiative. The application builds on all the excellent work here over the last year to serve students through new food pantries and services including SNAP, application counseling, clothing, social work services, mental health services, emergency funding assistance, and many others. I could go on and on with this, and I know I can't, but some incredibly creative things have been done because everyone's on board and we're getting all kinds of great ideas. So we've recently partnered with NYU with their master's degree program in social work, and we now have master's seeking students in social work on our campus 21 hours a week each. They'll be in Hudson Helps to provide social work counseling. We're going to be having all kinds of representatives of community agencies here on the ground, including, one of the other findings of the study that I just mentioned is that while 68% of our students reported those basic life needs concerns, and almost all of them are concerned with food insecurity, only I think 12 or 13% reported receiving SNAP assistance. We know that many more, even in spite of the administration's cutback on SNAP, and I won't get into that, but many more are eligible. Some don't know they're eligible, some don't know about the program, some just aren't able to navigate the burdensome process of making application. We're going to have a person on the ground, and we're going to be encouraging students to sit down with that agency representative. And if students are, and this goes for staff and faculty as well, if they're eligible for things like SNAP, we're going to help them get it. I want to especially thank David Clark, Sean Kerwick, Nydia James, Nicholas Chevroletti, and Lisa Doherty for their leadership of this grant application. Thank you very much. The Hudson Helps Resource Center will open soon after our new state-of-the-art Student Center opens, which is expected in early March with a grand opening celebration scheduled for April 9th. I'm sure you're seeing the progress they're making on the building. It now has a sign on the front. It's really going to be a first-rate opportunity for all of our students, a place they can really feel is home. They can hang out between classes. They can participate in group activities, cultural events. We're going to have a veteran center there, a larger space where veterans can actually come. Yes, they can come and get to know one another. I just had lunch with some veteran students last Friday. They have their own, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, they have their own particular needs. So many of them are suffering from PTSD, and What's most therapeutic, they tell us, is when they can get together with other vets, because they share a life experience those of us that have not been there will never fully understand, and yet they aren't getting to know each other very well. This is one step toward beginning to be proactive about encouraging community among our veteran students. So I think this space will be really first rate. They're going to have comfortable furnishings there, and I think they'll have things like microwaves and things like that. But then the next step will be when our academic tower comes to fruition. There's going to be a larger veterans presence there, including staff, facilities. And so that's all very exciting. Then for the past year, we've been preparing to install new state-of-the-art virtual desktop infrastructure, or VDI stations, throughout our campuses. From these stations, students can utilize, I have to read this because I don't know what I'm talking about. They can utilize applications previously available only in the STEM building. VDI has the advantage of resource sharing, distribution of desktop computing services, and lowering the cost per student significantly. For our technical staff, it allows a more centralized, efficient computing experience that's easier to maintain and capable of faster response when there are software changes. And when I'm finished, which will be soon, I'm going to invite others to speak about some of these initiatives. But I think this is particularly critical in our current dynamic IT environment. And we celebrate the fact that recently 90 VDI stations were installed in the Gabert and North Hudson campus libraries. This will allow the college to focus further on the student experience and therefore student success. And I do want to thank Patricia Clay and our colleagues in Information Technology Services, Academic Computing, and the libraries who work together to produce a desktop experience that our students really need. And I think that deserves applause. I know that was a bit of a complicated process. And speaking of money, our budget planning process is well underway. Budget hearings were held during the week of February 3rd. Vice President Veronica Zeitner and colleagues participating on her budget committee have led budget hearings throughout the college, to which all members of the college community were invited, and I thank many of you who attended these meetings. The budget hearings centered on staffing needs, technological innovation, capital improvements, grant opportunities, enrollment projections, efficiencies, etc. Over the next few weeks, budget requests will be compiled from throughout the college, and assumptions regarding tuition increases, if there are any, and credit hour projections will be discussed among the cabinet. And several cabinet members and I will meet then with Hudson County Financial Administrators Cheryl Fuller and John Inagaki on April 7th. And during this meeting, we'll discuss the county's FY21 allocation to the college, with a focus on a request for additional funding to support the college's continuing growth around areas of central priority. They were very good to us. The county has been for the last 2 years. Each of the last 2 years have seen significant increases in funding. We hope 3 is the charm. We hope they'll do it again. Then we'll be discussing these processes with our board finance and other board committees as they move forward, and our goal is to present a budget resolution at the May 12th, 2020 Board of Trustees meeting, and then following board approval, we'll present the 2021 operating budget and Chapter 12 request to the Hudson County Board of Chosen Freeholders to complete the process. This is the Board of School Estimate. And once that's then approved, the cabinet, this is new this year, the cabinet's going to be holding a retreat to actually sit down and review all the budget details. So, you know, we're going from macro to micro. So we'll have the total budget passed, and we have a timeline for that. Then we want to do something we haven't done before, and that is we want to sit down and look at how that budget has been allocated internally and look for any changes that we need to make that are just a function of changing experience, needs, etc. So we'll know what our total budget is. We're then going to see if we want to tweak that to make it a little more surgical in terms of supporting to the fullest extent possible our joint priorities. Then we will send the final budget to all members of the college community. Now, we're going to keep you apprised of developments in the process as they occur. So we want this to be as transparent as it can be, and let the games begin. I do want to thank Veronica Zeitner and Budget Committee members Jeffrey Sims, Sharon Wilson Harriet, Jeff Roberson, Tricia Clay, Ilya Ashman, Anna Krapitsky, and Darryl Jones for their leadership and support. Am I leaving anybody out? I probably am. But anyway, a round of applause. Thank you very much. The coming year will engage all of us in planning and discussion for our next iteration of the college's strategic plan, including a review of our mission and vision. There are many major initiatives underway, as we all know, involving all college constituencies and beyond. And I think this is really the sign of a healthy and prosperous college. So our work together, college-wide, in overarching areas of priority will form the foundation of our next strategic plan and will provide an opportunity to integrate shared themes and values of this work. As we're doing this work, we're seeing a lot of intersections. These areas of priority include current work associated with the academic master plan, in which many of you are involved, our Achieving the Dream work, our middle state self-study and visiting team recommendations from last spring, the new President's Advisory Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and student voices from a number of recent and impending surveys, in addition to student focus groups. We are doubling up our efforts to make sure the voices of students are included in these critical processes. So one example is the study about homelessness that I just mentioned and food insecurity. Another is our administration this spring of the community college survey on student engagement, which I sent a note out about, I think, last week. We're going to be surveying students college-wide to get their perspectives on how engaged they are in the college community, frankly, around areas that we know are strongly correlated with student success and completion. We're going to be doing focus groups. We want that student perspective to be front and center in this whole process. I've asked Executive Vice President and Provost Dr. Eric Friedman to lead the planning process that will engage all college constituencies. Just a little add-on to his responsibilities. It's sort of like when I cornered him right after I got here and said, will you be our Middle States liaison? And he did that beautifully, and now this is the next piece, and I thank Eric for his leadership. And in this process, we want everyone to participate because everyone in our community has important perspectives to share. Thank you, Eric. Thank you all for your involvement. And that's more than I usually say. I'm going to stop there. I would welcome questions, comments, announcements, celebrations, concerns, and I may call on some of you to talk more about some of the things that I've just mentioned if you don't volunteer. So, is anybody going to volunteer? Any comments? Yes, Anna, thank you. Thank you.
I just wanted to, I guess, make 2 announcements or reminders. So we have, thank you. If you haven't noticed, on the January board, the board has approved Evergreen Solutions as the consultant for our classification and compensation system study. Story here? No. So Tori Marina will be helping me and Carmen McGuire from HR will be helping me do some of the homework that we had already received from the consultants as far as putting together all the data and information that we have, a census, job descriptions, org charts, all of those good things. And part of the process is a communication plan that will be kind of rolling out, that will be helping us with regular updates to employees about where we are, what the next steps are. Another part of the process is that they will be on campus for a full week to talk to employees, to have focus groups, to do their assessment, and we're working out as far as which week that would be. So that's where we are right now. So it's definitely in full swing. And the other announcement I just wanted to make was in regard to our initiative to compile policies and procedures, centralized kind of system, website. We created a task force. I see some of our task force members here. Would you mind standing up?
Please.
In the task force? Yes. So, thank you. They've been really, we just had our kickoff meeting a couple of weeks ago. I've been meeting with some of the groups and I have plans to meet with each area to talk about their procedures. It's really, it's wonderful to see their commitment and sort of like, yeah, let me look at this, let me tell me what you need. And it's going to be a really major, comprehensive, time-consuming initiative. So I really, really appreciate everyone's help in stepping up, or at least being voluntold. But we'll make it great. So that's it.
Thank you for your leadership. Those are huge, huge areas of importance. Others? Yes.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Mirta Sanchez. I work with the foundation. And I wanted to tell you that we always have to work together, because what our main focus is, the students. We work diligently to raise money and provide scholarships for our needy students. And that being said, we have some events coming up. Our first event is our 8 Friday series for subscription dining that starts next Friday. And I would like to thank especially Chef Puck, Chef Marisa, who is here, and Chef Payne, because they make this a very memorable experience. So I have flyers. It's only $140. It's a 3-course meal, and it's, as I said, memorable. We also have Chef alumnus Claude Lewis. He's coming back, and he graduated, I think, back in the 80s. He opened his own restaurant on Newark Avenue, and he'll be here Saturday, 22nd. So if you would like to check that out, I have a flyer there. We have also our Mardi Gras on March 5th, and that is from our North Hudson Committee. We raise money specifically for the North Hudson side of the county. And mark your calendars for our Night at the Races, April 3rd, and the employee luncheon will be April 29th. We'll have details later. Thank you.
Thank you, Myrtle. Excellent. Others? Don't make me have to start asking. Yes, thank you.
Announcement. Okay, so this is an announcement for the health fair, April 23rd. Tess, help me out. Thursday, April 23rd, 12 to 4 in the STEM multi-purpose room, I do believe. Nurses are going to do their nurse thing. I'm not a nurse, I'm the respiratory therapist in the room, so I'm more health science. But I know we've got the paramedic students are going to be with us this year, and they are going to man Stop the Bleed. Stop the Bleed is a national campaign. God forbid there's ever an active shooter or an accident out front. Stop the Bleed has now trained at least 1 million participants, including children as young as, I believe, 12 years old, to learn how to stop active bleeding. So they'll have a table for demonstrations, and then maybe later on some registration for the actual Stop the Bleed course. We're doing Stop the Bleed, and then I'm helping the medical assisting students do vaping awareness. So I have 5 students doing 5 pop-up, press a button, you give me your elevator speech for 5 topics in vaping. So that's our corner for, oh, I see some nurses. Anything else they're going to do? Blood pressure, glucose, cancer awareness. What else? Can you think of something else? There's tons of health-related information, but that is that Thursday. So we've got 4 hours, faculty, student, and staff. Oh, I almost forgot, exercise science is back in it again in the makerspace in the library, the end of February, 6 pop-up events for your personal fitness training needs. Faculty, staff, students, come 4:30 to 5:30, but I'll bet you anything, if you need to stay a little bit later, they'll stay for you. So this helps the students with some of their contact hours toward their internship, under the direction of Professor Karen Hosick, our exercise scientist. So we do have an exercise scientist here now because you all hired our exercise scientist. I no longer have to fake it. Okay.
Thank you, Kathleen. That program has grown so beautifully. It really is. Others? Dr. Friedman, is there anything you would like to share?
Sure.
We're talking.
I've got a long list, but I'll keep it short. Well, I'm next to Tricia, and I just wanted to supplement what you said about VDI. So it sounds kind of technical, but here's the down and dirty. You used to have to go to the accounting lab to access the accounting software, right, Lester? And now you can access specialty softwares like that and specialty STEM softwares from all those 90 terminals in the library and soon beyond. It's like Bed Bath & Beyond. So the one thing that I was going to talk about is we had our first meeting, Ilya, Lisa, me, Chris Wall. We're heading towards more transparency with space allocation and how we think about dedicating space and how office assignments are made, those kind of things. But we realized this morning in a very intense meeting that this is a project that's going to need a task force. There were so many dimensions that folks brought to the table on it. It's much further than faculty offices or regular offices. It's lab needs. We have a new accessibility services director coming on board in a couple of weeks, and she and Corinne are going to need a dedicated, there's so much, what did you call it, the global warming, or the heat was up, and the heat is up with space right now. We're very tight for space. We're actually looking at converting a current space that's not used that efficiently to be able to put in some modular office solutions. So until we have that tower and or a couple other moves made, space is really tight, but we're dedicated. There's a good senior level team there that's trying to pull together what all the pieces are, and it looks like we may not launch in full. We'll have these exploratory conversations for about 90 days. Is that what we said? Yeah, but it's a really good thing because we'll be able to post, and we're also looking at models like at Ramapo where there's a drop down on the website for a community group to be able to request space, and that's been handled in a lot of different ways over the years, so that'll be really helpful. It'll be clear, it'll be transparent, help us manage our space in a registrar-like way.
Excellent. And thank you. Darryl, is there anything you'd like? So Darryl Jones, how long have you been here now?
Oh gosh, 6 years.
It hasn't been that long, but he keeps coming back.
Thank you. Just very briefly, I never want to miss an opportunity to say congratulations and appreciation for all of the work that you all do, but really would like to highlight the work of our faculty. We are completing the third week of the spring semester, and I've had an opportunity to walk about. I've had an opportunity to poke my head into many, many classes, and we're off to a great start of the spring semester, and I look forward to it being a fantastic end as we make our way to commencement. There are two individuals who are not in the room, who we've said this one or more times, but they are in the midst of receiving their terminal doctoral degree. Peter Conrad in the school or in business, and also Allison Wakefield will be receiving their terminal degrees very, very shortly. So if you see them, say congratulations a first time, second time, or third time to them, because that's a very big accomplishment. Thank you.
Excellent. Others? Yes, Lisa, thank you. I was gonna call on you if you didn't.
Great, thank you so much. So we just want to give you the latest update as it relates to PAC Day, the President's Advisory Council on Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. So we did have a second of 3 forums. We had that yesterday. It was held at North Hudson. And what we're doing, the first one was held here on January 31st. The next one will be, the third and last one will be here back at the Culinary downstairs on next Tuesday from 3 to 4:30. And what we are finding at these forums are that individuals are coming together. We're sharing information from the surveys that many of you took. Others, even if you take the survey, still, we invite you to come, because what we do at those sessions, you get an opportunity to look at the data one more time, maybe look at it in a different way. You get an opportunity to meet and discuss with individuals that maybe someone you work directly with, or it could be someone that you don't know at all, and you get an opportunity to then prioritize some of the things that people pointed out to say that these are areas that we want to work on. At the same time, you get to ask any questions that you may have surrounding a climate survey, surrounding the college and people's responses, surrounding the type of questions that were asked, but also surrounding what we will do about it. And so we really, really appreciate, so far we've collected over 50 priorities. And so we still have more work to do. So the PAC Day Council will then meet together, and we will then go through that information, analyze it, and finally, hopefully, come up with 3 or 4 major goals that we want to finish working on for this year, and then move forward to a comprehensive strategic plan that we can put forward for years 2 and 3. But thank you.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Lisa. That's great.
Any questions?
Questions for Lisa?
Chris, can I just follow up
Sure.
on the Leadership Congress? So Chris had mentioned going to ACCT, going to Washington for the last few days. I had a chance throughout to talk to the students that were with us, but on the last night, I had a chance to sit and have this extended dinner with Warren Rigby and Raheem Salih. And they talked to me, traveling with students like that and having those opportunities for hours on end to really understand what's happening in their lives and their goals and everything. They talked to me about their insecurities, how they had low self-esteem and what's happened to them, the transformation that's occurred at their time at Hudson. If you have an opportunity to travel with students and to really have that time off campus and to hear, what they've been living and then how what they've been living has been changing through their association with and their time at the college, it is really, really amazing. So that was just a side effect. I mean, having good FaceTime with Senator Booker, that was pretty cool. Eye-to-eye kind of thing going on, that was awesome. But spending that time with the students is really, it's a unique experience, and it's part of what Chris has been saying since he landed here on day one on, how inspirational the student stories are. And when they really get an opportunity to sit with a Congress member or to sit with a senator and talk about their experience, their stories, their needs, it's really powerful, really impactful.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. Tricia, I saw you hanging around with some folks from the community. I have a feeling it might have been on the ITV project. Anything you want to tell us? Update on our ITV project or anything else you want to tell us?
I think you guys covered the
VDI
pretty well. On ITV, we were meeting with our AV vendor and Ilya and Mark Murray today to talk about some prerequisite electrical work and that kind of thing. So we're going to be handling the Academic Affairs Conference Room in the A building and room 703A in North Hudson first, and then the classrooms once our spring semester is over. And then this room, as well as downstairs, and the Johnston rooms will be handled in July when the building is not otherwise booked.
And the multi-purpose room at North Hudson.
And the multi-purpose room at North Hudson will probably be in between. That depends on what events that are scheduled. So be on the lookout. There are workshops. Also, Darryl, Chris Wall, and a group of us have been talking about the classes that will be utilizing ITV, and that's a work in progress. But if you're interested and you're a faculty member, reach out to me or Chris Wall or Dr. Jones, because we'd love to have you involved.
Fantastic. So one of the important outcomes of this, we hope, is the ability to offer more full program opportunities at North Hudson, plus sharing meetings and events. So that's great. I do want to do a shout out to John Scanlon, who's doing incredible work in all areas of data, and in particular, I know you've just finished or in the process of finishing our annual iPads submission. If you have never worked on iPads, thank God. Okay, this isn't fun. I know. But anything you want to tell us? No. But
It was really, really nice when I got an email saying, well, area number 1, very clean, no problem. Area number 2, very clean. And I'm reading the email and I'm getting really excited, and then he says, well, but in area number 2.
But I'll tell you, we're really in the process of moving to a data-rich environment that is going to be meaningful data. it's going to continue to help us understand the outcomes of what we're doing and where to focus our energy for continuous improvement. And we thank you for your leadership. Yes.
Does everybody understand what disaggregation of data means? I know that, do you want to make a comment about that? I know that we've been using that term a lot, and with ATD Achieving the Dream, a lot of the data work that we're going to be doing with the data coach is to start to do what's called disaggregation of data, and not just to look at, what are our numbers? Are men completing, at a higher rate than women, for example? That's very high level. As you start to pull it down, I used to have a professor who said, bring that helicopter down so you're not looking at all of North America, but you're looking at the Northeast, then you're looking down at New Jersey, then you're looking at Hudson County. So we're going to be pulling it apart and looking at different categories and combinations of categories to see really where are the biggest struggles, which members of our college community, which cohorts are really struggling the most, where are the retention rates, the worst, where are we seeing low completion rates, and not just looking at these broad overarching categories. So as you hear disaggregation, that's the drilling down into really unpacking some of the broader rubrics that we've been using over the past X amount of years.
And I also want to celebrate incredible work that continues to be done in both the Educational Opportunity Fund, EOF, and our honors program. Lisa Doherty today was sharing with me spring enrollments, and they're way up again, just like they were in the fall. Jose, thank you and your team. Is there anything you'd like to say? Do you want to? They're way up. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Once again, thank you everyone for all your help in helping me and helping us actually acquiring our students. We are in the process of working on our summer program, which is the biggest aspect of our program now, where we're going to bring almost 300 students into our campus. So looking forward to that. So that's going to be our next task. I know last year we brought 200, but this year my goal is to bring 300.
Excellent.
So my staff and everybody else is ready to go and start working on that. But thank you very much for all your assistance.
Thank you. Fantastic. The other thing that we know in the data, we're seeing more and more data, students in our EOF program are immensely successful. And is Jenny Boban here or anyone from honors? Well, she's writing her budget. Very good. Well, our honors enrollment just keeps going up as well.
What Jenny does, sometimes we cancel the class because of low enrollment, and Jenny goes to the students. We don't lose those students. Jenny goes to the students personally and catch them and just put them in other classes. So the number of classes are low, but number of students are same. So we didn't miss any student, we didn't lose any student. So that's the thing that Jenny does.
Thank you, Jenny. Chris, anything you want to tell us about Secaucus? Did I say that right?
Yeah, sure.
Now, do you know that Chris reportedly sings better than Frank Sinatra? You did say you were going to sing New York, New York. Would you like to do that now?
It's up to, no. A couple things. We are going to have, I think I've mentioned this before, but we're going to have our first graduating class from our early college students. So we have 11 students who are going to be eligible to walk and participate. I have 3 who've said they will definitely come. So we're going to have at least 3 of them there. So we're excited. We're working out all of the details. It just happens to be their prom night as well. Yeah, so we did get a waiver from the principal. So they are allowed to be out of, because normally you're not allowed to miss school the day of your prom. They are going to make a special exception for those students to participate in commencement. So just waiting to confirm with everybody that they're going to be able to attend. We're getting them a special stole for them that will have our logo and the Hudson County Schools of Technology logo to give them something special to commemorate. So we are also on the verge of doing what we're going to be calling Summer in Secaucus. So the original plan was just to do fall and spring. But when we looked at some of the data, of folks from West Hudson and what they were taking and what they were interested in, we found that a big bulk, particularly of the folks that we do end up getting from Secaucus, were non-matric. And so we said, we're getting the summer students, the students who are home from college, from their four-year institution and are taking classes with us. So to meet them where they're at, we did decide that we're going to open up the doors and offer some classes in the summer. We'll be sticking with our usual schedule type for summer one, because they still will have school during the day and we still have to share that space. In summer two, we're gonna expand and have a few more classes in the evening. They're gonna give us a little bit of a wider reign of the building in the evenings, since we won't be stepping on any teachers' toes and using their spaces. So we're looking forward. We just are putting the final touches on that, and then I'll be working with everyone to decide which classes are the best to run. But you will see we're going to do a billboard on Route 3 and we're going to do some targeted digital social media marketing in around some of the four-year institutions in March and April to catch those students and say, hey, if you're looking for classes when you come home, come to us. So, I have a question. Yes.
Could you just explain who those 11 students actually are?
Meaning
that they're graduating?
Oh. So, yeah, just to make it clear, these are students who they're high school seniors. And they're graduating. They're actually going to graduate with us first. They'll have their ceremony with us first. These are students that we built a dual enrollment program with the high school because of the special nature of the classes that they're taking during the day at high tech. These students are taking, obviously they have to be high achieving already to get into high tech, and then they're taking a very advanced course load. And so with the work of some very special folks around the college, they were able to determine that there were some classes that they take as part of their curriculum that match up with classes that we offer at the college. And then over the course of their time in high school, they take additional classes after school to complete and round out an associate's degree. So they are going to get their associates in environmental studies when they complete. And so, like I said, we have 11 students who have completed that trip of doing both the classes during the day and excelling in those classes during the day, and also taking the classes in the evening and I'm sorry, after school. And we ran our numbers of our fall students, both the early college students, the dual students, and just our early college students in general. And we had 95 of the 100 or so students who passed. And the vast majority, I think it was 60%, had an A. So these students are not only taking these classes, but excelling at these college classes on top of what they're doing in high school. So
thank you, Chris. So we're going to have 11 high school students commencing at our commencement, and we will draw special attention to that. Can you think about this for a moment? Students graduating high school, they can finish a bachelor's degree in 2 years. 2 years. It's phenomenal. So this is a model we, of course, are going to be expanding, and we are very much in the process of having more and more high school students who graduate with our degree at the same time, which is very, very exciting. Are there any, Willie, did you want to say something? Oh, yes.
Hi.
Thanks, Michelle.
Hi. So we have some good news from the Cultural Affairs. Joe Gallo was featured on the cover of the Riverview Observer, and that's very exciting. He shared his extensive playbill collection, and just how that inspires the students each day, and part of our Teacher as Artist program that we have there.
Excellent.
Thank you for the claps. And also we have two other exhibits that culturally are super dynamic. Dorothy Anderson shared personal history, as well as Carrie Chow. She's beautiful paper cut, Chinese traditional paper cuts. They're gorgeous. I fall in love with the rooster almost every day. So we'd love to see you up there. I just want to clarify that, yes, tonight the event is upstairs.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and I think that's it.
And will the gallery be open during the event?
Yes, it will be.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. That's excellent. Do any of our professional associations have anything they want to share with us? I see Dorothea here. Anything you want to share? I'm putting, I don't mean to put you on the spot. Nothing? Jose's here for the academic administrators. Anything you want to share? Yes. Archana? You, okay.
Hi everybody, I just want to remind you that this semester we are piloting both the student orientation, in which actually we enrolled every online and hybrid student, and it's open to every student to enroll themselves if they want to. And it's been very successful. We've had 200 people actively, 200 students actively, more than that, active in that orientation, and we've had really nice comments about how it's helping them. The other thing is we also have a faculty orientation that has been completely revamped. The orientation to online teaching for faculty is now a hybrid. So please, when you go and you register, and we have a full class this time for Katie. When you register for the class with Katie, don't forget to do the online part. It is really, really key to your understanding the actual LMS you're on. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Lots of good work being done in the Center for Online Learning. Jose, anything you want to say about the Academic Administrators Association?
Once again, thank you. It's funny when you have so many hats that you wear, it's hard to just be in sync with everything else. We're going to start meeting. I know we haven't met since the semester. We're going to start meeting. And also I'm welcoming new members that want to join the union. We have a new union rep that I'm going to welcome this semester. I'm going to have him come in and meet with several members. And hopefully when we have our meetings, we'll welcome some of the senior staff to come in and speak to our members as well.
Fantastic. I don't see Michael Felice here, but is there anyone that wants to say anything on behalf of the Professional Association?
I just met with him.
Okay.
I can tell you what he has to say.
All right. Pretend he's Michael Felice.
We just had a meeting together, and he went over a list of things, such small, inconsequential things, such as the coordinator role, coordinator job description, handling overloads, course caps and online course cap overrides and what that might mean. So what we did is we really came to a meeting of the minds on a couple of task forces related to some really, I said they're small and inconsequential. That's me being sarcastic. These are really big, important things, and we identified some different elements in those. And it's just a great moment of working together with the professional association to really collaboratively find good solutions that are win-win in these big areas that are of high concern to faculty and other people around the campus. So he brings his concerns forward. Chris had initiated a series of monthly meetings each month with each of the unions, and it's going really well because everybody feels like they can bring whatever it is forward, and we may not have all the answers right that moment, but we get the right people to start working on things. So he's got a lot going on, and we certainly keep Michael busy, and it's collaborative and good.
Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it. And I don't think Nancy Lazik is here. Is there anyone from the Adjunct Faculty Federation that would like to speak? No, but Omar would like to speak. Maybe tell us about the web project.
Hello. Just as a reminder for anybody who wasn't at the All College Council, as everybody knows, we're doing the website redesign. So what I'm looking to do is to reach out to everybody who's in charge of content to update the content on both web and portal. I've met with a few people here. There are some I haven't met with yet. Admittedly, as I've been here, I am not sure who is in charge of what department. So if I haven't reached out to you, I apologize in advance, but do feel free to reach out to me if you haven't heard from me yet. The idea is to make sure that when we migrate the content from the existing site to the new site, that we're moving new content. And to also make sure that it's mirrored on the portal, because we have people, faculty, staff, and students who look at either the portal for information or the web for information, not necessarily both, it depends on your preference. But we want to make sure that it's mirrored so that they're not getting conflicting information, you're not getting calls to your departments, which one is the real one? You want to make sure that it's what it's supposed to be. So if you haven't heard from me already, I'm saying it's okay to call me and set up a meeting so that we can kind of sit down, have a discussion, and make sure that your pages are properly representing your departments and you want it to be what you want it to be.
Excellent, thank you, Omar. The website redesign is really now starting to get exciting. I think it's going to be I think you're going to be so happy with the outcome. Anyone from All College Council that would like to speak? I don't think Lauren's here. Are there any okay.
Yeah, I'm not from All College Council per se, but I would just like to thank you, Dr. Reber. So could we just give him a round of applause? And I'll tell you why in a second. Because from one of the lenses that I like to look through is from, just overall faculty and staff development. And I know that this town hall started, it'll be going on 2 years in the summer. And it seems like we have just as much excitement around it, just as much participation. And this is pretty much every month. And sometimes we also do this in North Hudson. And from a professional development and personal development, what it means, and as an organization, it means that it's sustainable. It means that, the fact that people keep coming, so that is a good thing, and I just want to celebrate you and the other leaders of the college, and we're moving, to me, in such a strong, powerful, and engaged way. So, I just want to share that.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be part of this community. Any questions that I or others can answer while we're all together? There's no such thing as a bad question. No? Anything else for the good of the order today? Well, thank you all for everything you do. Have a great rest of the day. Have a great long weekend. Yeah, well deserved. Thank you.